Hi, welcome to my channel. So today it is to add on with my Wednesday weigh-in, and I've seen a few things on Nutracheck which were people asking for advice, tips on how to stay onto your diet. Now, I'm probably not the best person to ask for that when I come off it ridiculously so, but while I'm on a diet it seems to stick to it quite well. So I thought I would do this one to add to today's, and I was going to do a meals in a day, but I haven't done one yet, and I didn't want to do it on the days before my weigh-in because they are stricter days. So I will do it today, Wednesday. So this is a day in my life on a Wednesday when I eat up to 1,100 calories. So yeah, I'm going to start it today. Not today when I'm filming this, but today when you're watching this. So yeah, that'll come up next Wednesday or during the week. I'll see if I can put it up. But this is alongside my weigh-in. And it was advice and tips on how to stick to your diet. So just loads of people on Nutracheck wondering how you do it when you're starting off, and it's something that I do find a lot easier than actually the maintenance part. The maintenance is when I'm going to be watching every video in the world about how to maintain your weight. It's going to be a long time till I get there, but when I do get there I'm going to need the support. So yeah, so someone just asked, I'm new to Nutracheck, have you got any tips, advice? So my reply was, you're going to do fab and you're going to love it. So if you're new to Nutracheck and you're thinking, how am I going to get started? What's going to happen? The first bit of advice that I always say is it maybe takes a little bit of time to start. And don't beat yourself up because it's taking that time to start. It does take a while, or it took me at least a month, and that was I'm starting tomorrow, and it doesn't work. But if you beat yourself up and you hate yourself for it, you start to feel crap and you start to feel bad about yourself, and then suddenly you're a failure, and it's going down all this route which just don't do, because then you eat more. So just say, right, I didn't start, but I'm going to do it tomorrow, and then one day you will start, it will happen, and just stay positive and confirm that you're going to do it. So that was one of the advice that I gave. Just don't beat yourself up, and that happens also in the diet as general. So I'm 8 weeks in. One bad meal will not make you overweight. It's definite. So if you have one bad day, the biggest thing you can do is get back on the train the next day. It's one bad day that turns into 2 bad days, that turns into 3, 4, 5, and suddenly you're a week in and you've gained 7 pounds back of the weight that you've just taken off. And who wants to be in that position? So I would definitely 1,000,000% say, don't beat yourself up about one bad meal. But if you do have that bad meal, scratch a line under it and start again the next day. Don't let that bad meal turn into 2, 3, 4, as I've just said. It's just nonsensical, because you've lost all that weight. You don't want to put it back on. So someone then asked me about my mindset. How is your mindset? How do you do it? Because I keep failing. So my advice was to stay consistent, stick to it. So stay consistent and stick to it. But how do you get your mindset to do that? So in my mindset, I would do things like putting up a picture of myself, having a look at pictures when I'm thinner, remembering how I felt when I was thinner, and all these little things. When I go to sleep, this is a good thing for weight loss, I think. I don't know if anybody can use it, but I do. So when I'm going to sleep, I'll envision myself getting into a new dress, or going to Elvis Week and wearing this lovely new dress, or going to buy new things, that a new top that would have never fit me, and like kind of daydreaming. So you imagine yourself thinner, imagine yourself better, and that helps you then to stay consistent and to stick to it, because you're envisioning this thing. So you're putting lovely thoughts with the weight loss. So right, so in some ways, don't think negatively of your weight loss. So you're losing the weight and you're thinking, oh, this is rubbish, I'm just not losing the weight, or I am losing the weight, but my goodness, I'm so starving, I'm hungry, I feel terrible, you're grumpy. Try and turn that on its head, and so things are positive. I'm losing this weight and I'm feeling fantastic, my jeans are fitting. Going to sleep and thinking about it and imagining yourself thinner and how you're feeling, and then positivity makes you stick to it and makes you kind of stay on that train of weight loss. So yeah, that was a definite one that I do and what I use. And And as I lose weight, I've just said this, that I feel better, so it's easier to stay positive as you lose the weight. So maybe the first month is when it's the more trickiest situation, because nothing's changing. I mean, it takes up to £10 before maybe somebody will notice, or you go down a dress size. So up to £10 you can be like, oh well, nothing's happening, and you don't even feel it yourself. It's just a number on a scale. So just give it that time till after you've got to the 4 week. When you get into your 5, 6, 7, 8 week, I think it's easier because you look different and people are complimenting you, saying, oh, you look good, or you look better, or you've definitely lost some weight. And that just makes you feel better in general. Lisa, little babes. Little babes. I know, little babes. So yeah, that is a major one as well. And then I did say it's very, very hard. Don't beat yourself up after if you've went over your calories. One bad meal is not going to make you overweight, like I've just said. And I think willpower is a massive thing, and you either have willpower or you don't. And willpower is tough because some people just have it in abundance and then others don't. I have fabulous willpower, and I have been complimented on my willpower because I will stick to it. Even if I see people eating around me, I still stick to my kcals, my calories. But when I see somebody eating something and they're having a pizza or something, I'll be like, right, is it worth it? How would I feel after I've eaten it? And maybe it takes a little bit of time where you actually do have a bad meal, and then you suddenly think, oh, I remember how I felt after that one. So you kind of have to have the bad meal to remember how you feel. And I always just think, well, how would you feel after you've eaten that? You're going to feel rubbish. You're going to feel like you failed. All of these things. Why would you do that to yourself? I'm just going to stick to it. And then I would go and have a giant glass of water. Or what I really, really love in the nights, and what keeps me on, so if my husband's having a takeaway or the kids are having pizza, I will have a rocket lolly out of Asda. Now honestly, they work. It's a great tip. They're 44 calories. Now you can't complain. 44 calories is nothing. And it takes ages to eat a rocket lolly, so it takes you a good 15 minutes. So by the time you've eaten it, everyone else has finished their meal and you've eaten your lolly. But also, it's a very, very cold lolly because it's from the freezer, and you don't really fancy a pizza after you've eaten the lolly. So you kind of like puts you off eating after that. Another tip you can do if you're really hungry is go and brush your teeth, because you don't really want to eat after you've brushed your teeth with your fluoride toothpaste. So yeah, that is another good thing. If you're really, really hungry, go and eat some toothpaste. Don't eat it. Brush your teeth and you should be a lot better off. Another thing to stay focused is don't focus on the scales, because if your weight's not budging, then you can suddenly get into this, well, what's the point? It's not budging. So take your inches, check your inch loss, because muscle doesn't weigh more than fat. They weigh exactly the same. Like a ton of feathers weighs the same as a ton of bricks. They're a ton. But the density of muscle is a lot smaller. So if you have like a big bit of fat here, you're same pound and a pound, but the density of a muscle is this. So you might not have lost weight, but you've lost inches, and that is definitely the case. So you're just getting leaner and fitter, especially if you're walking, which I do a lot of walking. I think I've lost like maybe 10 inches overall in my body since I started. I didn't take my inches until weeks in. So recently I just measured and I was 7 inches off. So I can imagine it was a lot more than that. So yeah, it's a definite one. Just check that and take some pictures at the start of your journey so that you can look back on it, and as you go along, take some pictures so you can compare. And that's another motivational tip where you can go, look at that, I can see it. Because sometimes you can't see it or feel it in your clothes, or you just, it doesn't feel enough for your starvation mode or how you're feeling. But that can be a great motivator and keep you going a little bit better. Another good tip is to plan your meals. So that can be a plan for the week or a plan for the day, and that's a really good thing to just keep you on track, because then you know what you're going to be having. Buy in that weekly shop. Don't buy in any other stuff. If you do have to buy in things for the kids like I do, then keep them away, keep them in another cupboard that you're not going into. So all the stuff that I've got is in a certain drawer in the freezer, so I only see my stuff. My stuff's in the fridge. I'm not really looking. When I am giving the kids their food, if they finish and leave some, fairy liquid over the top. You don't want to eat it once you've done that, and it keeps you on track and away from eating their food. But definitely meal planning is good, and if you can incorporate it with the kids. My sister-in-law Jackie does that a lot, so she'll make food for everybody, and then she'll just have a little bit of what she fancies from that. That can make you feel like you're not on a diet. I don't do that because I find that more difficult. For me personally, if there's a big 9-inch pizza, I definitely can't live with just having a slice. No, I can't do that. So I have to eat my specific foods, but I don't mind doing that anyway, and my husband eats different to me anyway, so because I'm kind of more vegetarian and more meatless kind of person, so I do eat meat occasionally, but yeah, we don't eat the same stuff, so it's easier in my life to do that. And the last one before I go is definitely, without a doubt, it's like Weight Watchers, you must track every single bit that you eat, and don't think, I've done this before, so you have like a little bit of pizza or a little chip or a little bit here and there, and then later on you think, well, how did I not lose the weight? Because all the little tidbits add to something. Everything has a calorie. Nothing is free in this life. Everything has calories. Even a cucumber has calories. So if you're going to be snacking or taking little bits and pieces here and there, I always calorie count it. So little things like my mother-in-law said, you count your tomatoes. Yes, I do. It's 12 points, 12 calories for a tomato. And it's very important that you calculate all these little things, even though it's small. So if I have a little bite of a cucumber, I'll have a look and see what is a slice. And it might be 2 calories, but all these things add up. And also, if I have a couple of crusts off the kids, I do love crusts of a pizza. So my oldest will maybe leave like 3 or 4 bits of the crust, and I might have 1 or 2. Then I will calorie count that. So I'll do a slice of pizza and half it. And so I think it's 106 for a slice of pizza, a specific kind. So then that's 56 calories. So just put everything down, every single thing that enters your mouth, put it into your calorie counting app, and make sure you try not to go over. But if you do go over, don't stress yourself out. You can bring it back the next day or up your exercise that day if you think you're going out or you're going to be doing something. And yeah, also another important factor, I've saw a lot of people do this, is they have a really good Saturday Sunday. So they'll have a Monday to Friday really strict, and then they'll have a Saturday Sunday. So when you start your diet, don't go too gung-ho crazy, because you know, if you start your diet at like 800 calories, there's nowhere to go when you reach the 8-week mark. And you think, well, where can I go? And I'm not enjoying my Saturday Sundays or anything. But if you start off at the ceiling with your kcals, keep to them, but have a Saturday Sunday where you enjoy your kcals as well, maybe go a little bit over. You can have rest days on Nutracheck as well. You can have easy days, sorry. So that would be maybe a Saturday Sunday, and you start like that and lose weight. You can keep going, and then as you lose the weight, you can maybe take out a Sunday and then keep going down like that. Because as I say, if you start off really, really strict, where do you go? You can't cut out anything else. And I'm kind of on that myself at the moment. I'm 8 weeks in, and I'm eating under 1,000 calories a day because I started off very, very strict. But as I go on a diet, I get less and less hungry. And I am less hungry than I've been in a long time. So I've not got the headaches. I feel more energetic. I feel fantastic in my clothes. It's a great motivator for me. So in actual fact, I'm not craving stuff, but I do wish I'd had one day off. And I used to do it on Weight Watchers. Every Wednesday when I weighed, I would have a day off on a Wednesday. I haven't done this time, and I've noticed it. I've really missed it. A day off on a Wednesday or your weigh day is very, very good for motivation, because then it can get you through to the next week and the next week. It's a very long, lonely road till Christmas now, 13 weeks, without knowing that you could have a treat day. So yeah, I do recommend treat days, especially on weigh days, and start at the start. Don't do it 8 weeks in like me, because you will gain. So start at the start and progress that way. Alright, that is it for tips and motivation. I hope you enjoyed it for the Nutracheck app. This is only for Nutracheck, not for anything else. And yeah, take care of yourself. Happy losing. And I will see you in another video soon. Bye everyone.